What happened to the food traditions that once united us, turning every meal into a celebration of family, friendship, and love? Imagine a time when the kitchen was the heart of the home and the dinner table was where memories were made. But today, those traditions are slipping away, disappearing like dust in the wind. What if we could bring them back? Join us as we dive deep into 20 iconic food traditions that once defined the American experience. Traditions that connected us in ways we've forgotten. It's time to rediscover what we've lost and remember the power of food to bring us together. Let's get started. Back in 1954, Swanson brought something special to the American dinner table, the TV dinner. These convenient, pre-prepared meals, neatly portioned into compartments on a tray, fit perfectly into the emerging TV-centric lifestyle, letting families catch their favorite shows without skipping dinner. By the late 1950s and 60s, TV dinners had become a cultural icon, embodying the essence of modern convenience. Everyone remembers those iconic aluminum trays, each section keeping the peas, carrots, and mashed potatoes from mingling. Marketed as a time saver for the busy household, these dinners really resonated during an era when more families had both parents working. The ads played up the freedom from the kitchen, pitching TV dinners as the go-to solution for a fast-paced American life. Then there were soda fountains. These delightful fixtures of American drugstores, going strong since the late 1800s, hit their stride in the mid-20th century as places where folks mingled over milkshakes, sodas, and ice cream sodas. These charming spots became central to social life, peaking in popularity in the 1940s and 1950s. The soda jerk, as the attendant was called, would mix various flavored syrups into carbonated water, creating delightful drinks on demand. Customers often sat on stools at the counters, enjoying their treats in a lively atmosphere. Soda fountains offered a unique charm, providing a space where people of all ages could gather, socialize, and enjoy refreshments. However, they declined with the rise of fast food restaurants and changes in retail practices, as quicker service models became more popular, overshadowing the slower, more social soda fountain experience. Milkman deliveries, a service that started in the United States in the late 19th century, became particularly popular in the 1950s as suburban living expanded. This service involved daily deliveries of fresh milk and other dairy products to households, typically in iconic glass bottles. Milkmen were a familiar sight in neighborhoods, known for their reliable early morning deliveries. The peak of milkman deliveries coincided with a time when few households had refrigerators capable of storing large amounts of perishable goods, making daily deliveries essential. The most remembered aspect of this service is the milkman's role as a community figure, who not only delivered milk but also served as a friendly, trustworthy presence in neighborhoods. The decline of this tradition came with the advent of supermarkets and improved home refrigeration, offering greater convenience and variety, shifting consumer habits. Tupperware parties took off in the 1950s, introduced by Tupperware Brands Corporation as an innovative marketing strategy. These home-based selling events saw hosts inviting friends and family over to check out and purchase Tupperware products. The popularity of these parties peaked in the 1970s, combining social gatherings with business opportunities, especially for women. The unique selling point of Tupperware parties was showcasing the product's durability and utility, particularly the airtight seals that kept food fresh longer. The parties were set in a casual, friendly atmosphere, where the host demonstrated the products while guests enjoyed snacks and socialized. Tupperware parties created an empowering environment, offering innovative, durable kitchen products and a fun, social selling model, making them a standout phenomenon in direct sales. Victory gardens, also called war gardens, were home gardens planted during World War II to boost food production and help alleviate pressure on the public food supply. This initiative, which started in 1942, was part of the civilian war effort and encouraged citizens to cultivate vegetables, fruits, and herbs in their backyards and public parks. During the war, about 20 million victory gardens were planted across the United States, producing approximately 40% of all the fresh vegetables consumed in the country. The gardens peaked in popularity from 1942 to 1945, allowing individuals to contribute directly to the war effort. A standout feature of victory gardens was their ability to foster a sense of self-reliance and patriotism. After the war, victory gardens fell out of favor with the end of rationing and the resurgence of commercial agriculture. Salad bars started to become popular in restaurants during the health-conscious 1970s. The first modern salad bar is credited to the restaurant R.J. Grunt's in Chicago, which introduced the concept in 1971. These self-service stations allowed diners to customize their salads with a variety of fresh ingredients, including greens, vegetables, proteins, and dressings. Salad bars were initially introduced to meet growing consumer demand for fresher, healthier dining options. Their peak years were in the late 1970s and 1980s, when they became a staple in both casual and upscale eateries. However, their prevalence has declined due to heightened food safety concerns and the costs of maintaining a wide variety of fresh produce. Instant coffee made from brewed coffee beans that are then freeze-dried or spray-dried became widely available in the United States after World War II. It gained traction in the 1950s and 1960s as a convenient alternative to traditionally brewed coffee. Preparing instant coffee simply involves adding hot water to the dried coffee granules, making it ideal for a quick cup at home or on the go. The peak popularity of instant coffee was during the 1970s, aligning with the fast-paced lifestyle of many Americans. Instant coffee played a memorable role in American pop culture, often associated with busy work environments and quick coffee breaks. While its popularity stemmed from its ease of use and consistent flavor, instant coffee has since declined with the rise of artisanal coffee culture. Ice cream socials are community events where people gather to enjoy homemade ice cream, often organized by churches, schools, or neighborhood groups. These socials were particularly popular in the United States during the early to mid-20th century. The peak era of ice cream socials was in the 1950s, when they served as a popular summer activity that brought communities together. These events often included games, music, and other festivities, enhancing the communal experience. However, the popularity of ice cream socials has declined with the rise of other forms of entertainment and the widespread availability of ice cream. Baking contests have been a staple of American fairs and community events, gaining prominence in the mid-20th century. These contests allowed individuals to showcase their baking skills, competing in categories like pies, cakes, and bread. The first official American baking contest was the Pillsbury Bake Off, which started in 1949 and remains one of the most prestigious baking competitions today. Other baking contests, often held at county fairs, showcased regional specialties like apple pies and fruitcakes. Baking contests peaked in the 1950s and 1960s, coinciding with a broader interest in home baking and community activities. These events have declined due to changes in lifestyle, with fewer people baking at home. Automat restaurants, known for their coin-operated food dispensers, first appeared in the United States in the early 20th century, reaching peak popularity in the 1950s. These establishments offered freshly prepared dishes behind small glass windows that customers could access by inserting coins. The experience was unique, blending fast food convenience with the quality of freshly made meals in a cafeteria setting. Customers loved the novelty and efficiency of serving themselves in an era when self-service was rare. The iconic memory associated with automat restaurants is the futuristic feel of getting food from a machine, a concept that fascinated people. Automats were popular due to their affordability, efficiency, and the fun of using the coin-operated mechanism. However, their decline came with the rise of fast food chains offering quicker service and extensive menus. Fondue parties, popular in the United States during the 1960s and 1970s, were all about gathering around a communal pot of melted cheese or chocolate. where guests dipped in various foods like bread, fruits, or vegetables. These events became a hallmark of communal dining, cherished for their interactive nature and warm, intimate atmosphere. The tradition originated in Switzerland in the 18th century as a way to use up leftover cheese and bread. The appeal of fondue parties lay in the unique experience of cooking together at the table, blending good food with good company in a fun and relaxed environment. The fondue pot, typically made of ceramic or enameled cast iron, is heated over a flame, maintaining the perfect temperature for dipping. Drive-in theaters, also known as drive-in cinemas, first gained popularity in the 1950s, becoming an iconic part of American culture. These outdoor cinemas let people watch movies from their cars with a large screen set up in a spacious parking area. The snack bar was an essential feature, offering popcorn, sodas, and classic American snacks to enhance the movie-watching experience. The peak of drive-in theaters' popularity was in the 1950s and 1960s, offering a perfect blend of entertainment and privacy for families and couples. The memorable element of drive-in theaters is the unique experience of viewing movies under the stars, creating lasting memories. Drive-in theaters with snack bars were unique, combining entertainment with the convenience of staying in your car. However, they declined with the rise of multiplex cinemas and home video. Supper clubs, those charming dining establishments offering gourmet meals and live entertainment, rose to popularity in the United States in the 1930s and enjoyed a resurgence in the 1950s and 1960s. These clubs were often situated on the outskirts of towns, providing a destination where patrons could spend the entire evening, from dinner to dancing. Supper clubs were known for their sophisticated ambiance, usually featuring soft lighting, live bands, and a dance floor. Their golden age was in the 1950s when they became social hubs for formal night outs, offering a touch of glamour and exclusivity. Supper clubs' popularity came from their ability to provide a complete night out with fine dining, cocktails, and entertainment all in one place. They declined as social habits changed and new forms of entertainment emerged. Pig picking, also known as pig roasts, are a cherished tradition in the southern United States, where a whole hog is cooked, often over an open fire or in a large barbecue pit. The tradition dates back to early colonial times, with pig roasts serving as communal gatherings for celebrations and holidays. This tradition, deeply rooted in Southern culture, became particularly popular in the latter half of the 20th century. Pig pickings are lively events that combine food, festivity, and community spirit, typically involving large gatherings where the hog is the centerpiece of the meal. The decline of pig pickings is due to changing food preferences and the logistical challenges of large-scale communal meals. Clam bakes are a northeastern coastal tradition where seafood, potatoes, and corn are steamed on the beach over a bed of seaweed. This tradition gained popularity in the early 20th century and saw a resurgence in the 1960s and 1970s as a festive summer activity that brought communities and families together. An iconic memory of clam bakes is the unique and flavorful experience of eating freshly cooked seafood by the ocean. The decline of clam bakes can be attributed to environmental regulations, limited venues, and the rising costs of seafood, making these events less common. Jell-O molds became a popular dessert in American households from the 1950s through the 1970s. This dessert involves adding ingredients like fruits or vegetables to flavored gelatin, then letting it set in decorative molds to achieve intricate shapes. The Jell-O brand, founded in 1897, became a household name, with molds evolving into a staple of mid-century cuisine. In fact, Utah consumes more Jell-O per capita than any other state, leading to it being named the official state snack in 2001. Jell-O molds peaked in popularity in the 1960s, when they were a fixture at both casual family dinners and formal gatherings. Their vibrant colors and creative presentations made Jell-O molds a fun and festive element at many events. Casserole dinners have been a mainstay in American cuisine, especially from the 1950s through the 1980s, celebrated for their convenience and comfort. Casseroles typically combine proteins, vegetables, and a starchy binder in one dish, which is then baked. Classic recipes like tuna noodle casserole and green bean casserole became staples of American dinner tables. The word casserole comes from the French term for saucepan, and the dish became popular in America during the Great Depression for its affordability. They became synonymous with family meals and potluck gatherings due to their ease of preparation and ability to feed a crowd. Post-World War II, America saw the rise of the cocktail party, which became a significant part of social life, especially in the 1950s and 1960s. These events epitomized sophisticated gatherings where guests enjoyed drinks and appetizers in chic settings, often held in private homes or elegant venues. Cocktail parties featured stylish presentations, including well-stocked bars and servers offering canapés and other finger foods. The golden era of these gatherings highlighted their role in social and business networking, providing a platform for interaction among the upper echelons of society. A distinctive element of cocktail parties was the classic cocktail attire, a symbol of glamour and elegance. These gatherings were often enhanced by unique themes or live music, making them memorable social occasions. Potluck suppers, commonly known as potlucks, are communal dining experiences where each participant contributes a dish to share. This tradition became a staple event in American communities and churches in the mid-20th century, particularly flourishing in the 1950s and 1960s. Potlucks typically involve a variety of homemade dishes, from casseroles and salads to desserts and breads, allowing for a diverse and abundant meal. Participants enjoy the sense of community and sharing that potlucks foster, with everyone contributing to the meal's success. The height of potluck popularity was during an era when community bonds were strong, and such events were key social gatherings. A memorable feature of potlucks is the communal spirit and the surprise element of tasting different homemade recipes. Potlucks became popular because they are economically efficient, easy to organize, and reinforce community ties by bringing people together in a relaxed setting. The microwave oven, a revolutionary kitchen appliance, became a household staple in the late 20th century, especially after gaining popularity for home use in the 1970s. This gadget uses microwave radiation to heat food, cutting down cooking time significantly compared to traditional methods. In 1975, microwave sales exceeded those of gas ranges for the first time, marking a significant shift in kitchen technology. Microwave ovens became especially popular in the 1980s, praised for their ability to reheat leftovers and cook pre-packaged meals in minutes. The convenience of pushing a few buttons to have a meal ready in no time changed how American households prepared food. Innovations like the rotating plate for even heating and variable power settings for different cooking needs made microwave ovens both practical and unique. Did those food traditions bring back some flavorful memories? If so, like this video, click subscribe, and stay tuned for more nostalgia trips. The decline of these traditions and their modern rebirth. As decades passed, the landscape of food traditions started to shift. In the hustle and bustle of the modern world, many of the customs that once brought us together started to fade into the background. The rise of fast food chains, the growing demands of a 9-to-5 work culture, and the increasing reliance on convenience made these once beloved rituals seem outdated. Family dinners became less about connecting and more about getting something in your stomach quickly. Traditional communal meals and local social spaces like soda fountains or drive-in theaters gradually gave way to faster, more isolated alternatives. We began to prioritize speed and efficiency over the meaningful moments that used to define a meal. The TV dinner, once a symbol of modern convenience, became the face of an era where food was no longer something to savor, but something to consume as quickly as possible. Soda fountains gave way to drive-through windows, and Tupperware parties faded as more women entered the workforce and found different ways to socialize. The milkman deliveries, which once symbolized community and trust, became a distant memory, replaced by grocery store chains that offered endless options but less personal touch. Yet, as much as these traditions seem to have been lost in the waves of time, there's a growing movement to bring them back, not in their original form, but as something modernized and reimagined. People are starting to realize that food is about so much more than just filling our stomachs. It's about connecting with each other, sharing stories, and experiencing life together. It's about finding joy in the simple act of breaking bread with loved ones. The return of the table, rediscovering the power of family meals. One of the most heartening trends we're seeing today is the resurgence of family meals. There's been a renewed appreciation for sitting down at the table with loved ones, without distractions, and sharing a meal together. It's as if we've collectively remembered the value of those moments that were once so ordinary, where conversations flowed freely, where everyone had a place, and where the food was just a small part of a much bigger, much more meaningful experience. Today, many families are going back to basics. They're turning off the TV, putting away their phones, and making time for the ritual of cooking and eating together. Parents are teaching their children how to cook the recipes passed down from generations before them, and the kitchen is becoming once again the heart of the home. This shift isn't just about food, it's about creating memories, building stronger relationships, and providing a sense of continuity and comfort in a world that feels increasingly fragmented. But this isn't just happening at the family level. Community dinners, local food festivals, and neighborhood potlucks are becoming the new soda fountains, where people of all ages gather not only to eat, but to connect. The goal isn't just to consume food, but to experience the joy of sharing and celebrating life. Whether it's a community garden where neighbors exchange fresh produce, or a farm-to-table dinner where everyone helps prepare the meal, these spaces are giving us a place to reconnect, bringing back the spirit of the soda fountain and Tupperware parties. What was once the soda fountain, that delightful spot where communities gathered to chat over milkshakes and ice cream sodas, is being reimagined in the form of modern cafes, pop-up events, and even craft soda bars. These spaces are designed to be more than just places to grab a quick drink. They're spaces for socializing, for meeting old friends and making new ones, for savoring the simple pleasures of life in a setting that fosters connection and community. People are increasingly turning to locally sourced, small batch and artisanal products to recreate the experience of those simpler times when a soda was more than just a beverage. It was a way to connect with your neighbors and build bonds. Similarly, the spirit of Tupperware parties is returning, though in new and innovative forms. Today's version isn't necessarily about selling products, but about creating spaces where people can come together to share ideas, try new things, and learn from each other. DIY food workshops, meal prep parties, and even virtual cooking classes are modern iterations of the classic Tupperware experience. These events not only allow people to come together around food, but also empower them to take control of their own cooking, while nurturing a sense of community and collaboration. Reconnecting with the land, victory gardens, and urban farming. Perhaps one of the most meaningful revivals is the resurgence of community gardening and urban farming. The modern equivalent of the victory gardens that flourished during World War II has emerged as a powerful way to reconnect with the land and each other. Across the country, from city rooftops to suburban backyards, people are planting vegetables, fruits, and herbs. This isn't just about growing food, it's about reclaiming a sense of independence and being part of something larger than ourselves. It's about knowing where our food comes from, appreciating the effort that goes into growing it, and sharing the harvest with our neighbors. These gardens are often planted in urban spaces where food deserts have made it difficult for many people to access fresh produce. But now these gardens are being used as a tool to bring communities together, to teach people about sustainable living, and to promote healthier lifestyles. Just like during the war, there's a deep sense of patriotism in these gardens. Except today, the war is against climate change, environmental degradation, and food insecurity. In these gardens, we see a new kind of unity growing, one rooted in sustainability, community, and care for the earth, reclaiming the joy of sharing food, the power of potlucks and cocktail parties. As much as we might miss the traditions of the past, it's also clear that food still has the power to bring us together. The modern potluck supper, which has evolved from its mid-20th century heyday, is a fantastic example of this. People are once again embracing the spirit of sharing food with others, whether it's at a friend's house, a neighborhood gathering, or even a community event. The idea is simple. Everyone contributes something, and together we create a meal that's greater than the sum of its parts. These gatherings foster connection, warmth, and a sense of belonging. In a similar way, the cocktail party, with its air of sophistication and glamour, is making a quiet comeback, albeit in a more casual and laid-back form. People are once again hosting small gatherings, sharing drinks, appetizers, and stories with close friends and family. Whether it's at a backyard barbecue or a themed dinner party, these events remind us of the timeless appeal of bringing people together over good food and drink, just like in the golden era. Conclusion: let's rediscover the power of food. In a world that feels increasingly disconnected, food has never been more important. It's the one thing that has the power to unite us, to bring us together, and to help us remember the simple joys of life. Food traditions are not just about what we eat, but how we eat, who we eat with, and the stories we share over the dinner table. As we continue to move forward, let's not forget the lessons of the past. Let's embrace the power of food to bring us together, whether it's around the table, in the garden, or at a community event. Let's hold on to the moments that matter, and in doing so, create new traditions that future generations will cherish just as much as we've cherished the ones we've lost. Food is a bridge to the past, to each other, and to a better, more connected future. Let's build it again, one meal at a time,